David arrives in Gath, a Philistine city filled with suspicion and hidden intentions, as he navigates the bustling streets. Amid the city's lively chaos, David's disguised form moves with guarded steps, his every move scrutinized by the wary eyes of the Philistine people. The air in Gath is thick with unspoken tension, as each glance carries the weight of distrust and uncertainty, hinting at the dangers that lurk beneath the surface. In the bustling streets of Gath, whispers follow David like shadows, as his presence ignites a storm of hushed conversations. From the periphery, voices echo, questioning and confirming the legend. Isn't that David? The air crackles with disbelief and awe as the question hangs. David? The one who killed Goliath? In the grand hall of King Achish's court, David is brought forth, facing an uncertain fate. David, acutely aware of the lurking danger, throws himself into a mad charade. He claws frantically at the wooden doors, a disturbing spectacle of desperation and feigned insanity. In a grotesque display, saliva trickles down David's chin, completing his horrifying transformation. King Achish watches David's strange antics with a mixture of bewilderment and annoyance. With a dismissive wave, King Achish questions the sanity of bringing him a madman. King Achish exclaims, "Why bring me a madman? I have enough of those." David is cast out from Gath, his face a canvas of conflicting emotions, relief battling humiliation. His shoulders slump slightly, embodying the weight of his expulsion. The sun beats down, mirroring the harshness of his rejection. Years after his heroic feats, David, now a leader of 600 men, seeks a lasting sanctuary as he approaches King Achish. The sun beats down mercilessly as David, with determination etched on his face, guides his family and warriors toward an uncertain future. Hope and desperation intertwine as they journey toward King Achish, seeking refuge from the looming storm of conflict and uncertainty. In King Achish's opulent court, David stands tall, his respectful posture masking a firm resolve. Amidst the splendor of Philistine victories depicted on the walls, David seeks a place to call his own, uttering, "Grant me a town where I may dwell." The air crackles with anticipation as David's fate hangs in the balance. Before the gates of Ziklag, Achish extends a generous hand, offering sanctuary to David and his men amidst the harsh, unforgiving desert. Beneath the scorching sun, David and his band, etched with weariness, yet steeled with resolve, step into their new lives. Dust devils waltz across the barren plains, mirroring the uncertain future that swirls around the newcomers. In a landscape veiled with secrecy, David orchestrates clandestine raids, concealing his true motives from Achish. Beneath the guise of loyalty, a web of deception is spun as neighboring groups fall victim to David's strategic maneuvers. The fate of Ziklag hangs in the balance, as David's delicate dance between allegiance and ambition teeters on the edge of discovery. In King Achish's majestic court, David masterfully feigns exhaustion, weaving deceptive tales of merciless raids. With cunning precision, David crafts his narrative to portray himself as a ruthless assailant of his own people, Israel. Achish, captivated by David's deceit, listens with rapt attention, his eyes gleaming with a sinister satisfaction. In a moment of complete capitulation, Achish nods slowly, wholly convinced by David's elaborate fabrication. In the heart of King Achish's court, a tapestry of shadows dances as torches flicker, igniting the air with anticipation of war. Seated upon his throne, Achish plots with ruthless ambition, his gaze burning with the anticipation of triumph over Israel. A cunning scheme takes shape as Achish resolves to bring David, the formidable warrior, into his ranks, envisioning victory secured by his side. The court holds its breath, the very stones seeming to vibrate with the weight of Achish's audacious designs. Under the relentless sun, a vast ocean of bronze and leather emerges as the Philistine army prepares for battle. Amid the bustling chaos, David remains a beacon of serene determination. Suspicion and unease ripple through the faces of the Philistine commanders as they cast furtive glances towards David. In the dimly lit tent, flickering oil lamps cast eerie shadows across the grim faces of the Philistine commanders, setting a scene of tense deliberation. The Philistine commander's voice echoes through the tent, filled with suspicion and distrust. "He cannot fight with us. He will turn against us in battle." Agitation fills the tent as the commanders grapple with uncertainty. their expressions a mix of fear and determination in the face of impending conflict. Under the flickering glow of oil lamps, the grim Philistine commanders form a semicircle, their resolute expressions casting long, ominous shadows. King Achish, weary and troubled, sits upon his makeshift throne as the air thickens with the weight of the commander's demands. As tension mounts, the Philistine commanders press their demands, insisting that David be sent away. In King Achish's tent, doubt clouds his face as he reluctantly nods, a sigh escaping his lips. Yielding to the moment, Achish claps his hands, summoning a guard with a gesture that speaks of both authority and hesitation. Inside King Achish's tent, a somber decree hangs heavy in the air as Achish, his face a canvas of worry, commands, "You must leave, David." David bows his head, a facade of disappointment veiling his inner elation as he responds, "As you wish, my lord." A silent sigh of relief escapes David's heart. Finally, a way out. Under the unforgiving sun, David and his weary men tread the dusty road back to Ziklag. Each step echoes with the weight of uncertainty, their faces etched with anticipation and dread for what awaits them. David, his eyes fixed on the horizon, carries the burden of leadership, his resolve tested by the unknown fate of his home. Under a somber sky, David and his men return to Ziklag, only to be met with a horrifying tableau of destruction and despair. A scene of utter devastation unfolds as the once thriving town is now a smoldering graveyard, consumed by relentless flames. The chilling realization dawns upon them. Their families, the heart and soul of their lives, are nowhere to be found. Amidst the ruins, the air crackles with unspoken fears as the men confront the unbearable truth. Their loved ones have vanished. Amidst the smoldering ruins of Ziklag, David and his men confront a landscape of utter devastation, their faces mirroring the desolation around them. In the heavy silence, tension thickens as some of the men cast dark, accusing glances towards David, their murmurs barely audible above the crackling embers. The air vibrates with unspoken accusations, threatening to shatter the last vestiges of loyalty and hope within the ravaged city. In the hushed solitude of his tent, David kneels, his face a canvas of sorrow painted by the dim light. In a moment of profound grief, David softly pleads, "O God, guide me through this darkness." Shadows swirl around David as he seeks solace, his silhouette a poignant figure against the canvas of his tent. In the confines of his tent, David is consumed by despair, his posture reflecting a soul weighed down by sorrow. In a moment of quiet introspection, David steels himself, finding a spark of determination in the depths of his despair. The narrator affirms David finds reassurance and renewed strength. The narrator reveals David decides to pursue the Amalekites. Beneath the merciless sun, David and his warriors relentlessly traverse the arid expanse, their pursuit of the Amalekites a burning testament to their resolve. Each step echoes the determination of men driven by purpose, their figures sharp against the undulating dunes. The scorching heat and endless sands test their limits, yet their eyes remain fixed on the horizon, fueled by an unwavering commitment to their mission. A storm of righteous fury descends upon the Amalekite camp as David and his men surge forward, reclaiming what was lost. Steel clashes, and cries echo as the battle intensifies, the air thick with a determination to reclaim their families and possessions. Each swing of the sword is a testament to their resolve, a desperate fight to wrench their loved ones from the enemy's grasp. Amidst the chaos, the promise of reunion fuels their every move, driving them to fight with a fervor that knows no bounds. Weary from battle, David and his men trudge back to Ziklag, their hearts heavy with memories of war and hope for home. The air hangs thick with anticipation as they approach their city, unaware of the devastation that awaits. A silent scream hangs in the air as Ziklag comes into view, a scene of utter desolation and ruin where home once stood. In the blink of an eye, the joyous return transforms into a nightmare as they survey the wreckage, their families nowhere in sight. Under the vast sky, David guides his people in reconstructing Ziklag, forging unity from the ashes of devastation. With renewed determination, the community rises, laying stones and raising walls, their spirits undeterred by past trials. David's resolute gaze sweeps over the scene, a beacon of hope and strength for those rebuilding their lives. Each swing of the hammer and placement of a stone echoes a resounding declaration of resilience and rebirth.